Hi, everyone, and welcome to today's session of Josefine Meets. And as you can see, it's just me, myself, and I today. I actually have my very first Josefine Meets session. And I'm really excited about today's session because it's a topic that has been wished. People have asked for it. And it is to take all of those thoughts that you have in your head and to actually make them into real actions, to remove that overwhelm. So hi, Christine, I'm really happy to have you here. If there are anyone who else is here, please add comments, questions, because it's going to be even more difficult for me now that I am here on my own to kind of make this an interactive session. But the reason why I decided to go for this topic is not only because it was asked for, but it's also kind of I've been there myself. And I fall into this trap over and over and over again. And that is, all of these thoughts that you have in your head, which kind of, they are just there. And it makes everything seem a little bit overcomplicated, a little bit overwhelmed. You're constantly overthinking, a little bit afraid of maybe taking those steps and those decisions. Hey, Åsa, so lovely to have you here too. I'm glad to have your support being here. So there are different thoughts and different to-dos, and those are the ones, when you have to-dos, for example, for your business or at work. And then we have those to-dos, which are the experiences that you want to have, but you don't really pursue them. And they create a buzz and a lack of focus. So the result of you not pursuing these thoughts or not making these thoughts into actions that's actually that you lose confidence and you become overwhelmed. And in the end, you will also lose a lot of time because you don't focus. You try to do it all, meaning you don't do anything, or you probably do a lot anyways, but it could be so much more efficient. Meaning you lose business opportunities and you lose experience opportunities. But before I go into kind of some examples and how to solve this, I quickly just wanted to introduce myself. For those of you who are here for the very first time, my name is Josefine Wanner, and I'm a former corporate executive turned entrepreneur and business growth strategist. And in my business world, I was a program manager. I was a project manager. And I had all of these ideas. I knew all the plans and everything almost by heart in my head. And that made me lose my creativity. So when I quit my job in 2019, I came across the book written by Julia Cameron, which is called The Artist's Way. And The Artist's Way takes you through a week-by-week planning. I think it was 10 weeks. And it kind of like, the purpose of it is to release your creativity. And my main takeaway from that book was that I created what I call my fun-tastic list. My fun-tastic list. And is there no audio and no animation? Christine, so I have someone who says no audio and no animation. Is it only my connection that's not working? I don't know, Birgit. Sorry about that. And I can't test it either. I tested my microphone before and it should be working. I can hear you. Okay, good. I was a little bit nervous there. Thank you, Facebook user. I can't see who it is, but thank you so much. I can hear you okay. Got a little bit nervous there. That's things that happen when we are live. So the fantastic list, let me go back to that one. So what I want you to do, or what I did, was I noted down goals and achievements and experiences, things that I wanted to do. So we have Martin and we have Åsa and Christine. Everyone is working fine. So Birgit, it's probably you in that case. So let me add this here so that she sees that. Hi, Martin. Happy to have you here. And Åsa too. So happy to have you here too. Multitasking is not my thing. So if I seem a little bit not so focused, it's because I read the comments at the same time. So, but keep them coming. I can come back to them afterwards. Anyways, my fantastic list. It's not only focusing on your kind of big goals or big achievements. It's also going to be focused on your experiences. Yes, Birgit, it's probably on your end. So log in and log out again. I think that would be good. It could be scuba diving. It could be owning your own beach house. Big things, smaller things, everything that you have in your head that you have never done. They sit there on your shoulder and they whisper in your ear that I would actually love to do this. So on my list back in 2019, what I had on my list was I want to own my own home in Sweden. I want to run in the forest. I want to go to Scotland. I want to travel to Scotland. I want to be in a flash mob. Don't laugh, but that was actually one of the things. I want to be in a flash mob. But that was the most crazy thing that I could come to think of. And I want to sing in a choir. The singing in a choir was something that I had been thinking of for years, but I never got around to doing it. I always found an excuse for not doing it. And when you find these excuses for not doing something that can seem a little bit easy to do, what happens is that voice that you have on your shoulder starts to whisper and say, you know what, Josefine? You don't even manage to sign up and sing in a choir. So why would you manage to do something else? So I looked at my list of my fantastic list of all of these things, and I looked at it and I was like, let me pick one thing, and then I take action on that thing. And that thing for me was singing in a choir. So I started to Googling it, and I was like, okay, so in Switzerland, since I live in Switzerland now, you almost have to be a little bit of a professional to actually sing in a choir. It's not like in Sweden where everyone can sing in a choir. But I found a choir where they told me afterwards it's actually an ensemble. So it wasn't a choir, but it was a group of people who sang pop songs, because that was also another requirement. It wouldn't be just any choir. I wanted it to be a choir of pop songs. So I signed up to that choir and I went there, and I realized that thing, singing in a choir, that I had been thinking of and dreaming of for years wasn't as fun as I thought it would be. So Christine actually says, singing in a choir is one of the best things to forget. You forget words. Yeah, if it's the right choir. Well, that thing wasn't the thing for me. But that's another good thing of this list, of this fantastic list of experiences, is you actually get to draw a line across it, and it don't eat up all of your energy any longer. Another thing that I had on my list was the thing about going to Scotland. My business manager, Paris, is from Scotland. I wrote this down 2 years before I hired her. I went to Scotland last year in March. So all of these things that I wrote down on my fantastic list in 2019 have been fulfilled or are being in the process of being fulfilled within the next couple of months. So I want you to, after this session, either today or latest tomorrow, I want you to note down 10 things. It can be big things, smaller things. Christine thinks I should try gospel. Maybe not. It's a little bit too religious for me, but but I think the kind of how it is there, I would love to be there. But anyways, I want you to write down big things, smaller things. Don't think about it. Yes, Åsa, my flash mob actually have come true. And I will talk about that in a second, the flash mob. So write it down, and then you look at that list of your things and you say, okay, so which of these things can I do something about today? And that can be, as in my case with a choir, that you look up, is there a course that you can take? Or if, let's assume it's paragliding or whatever it might be, check it up and start taking action on it. And regarding the flash mob, So Martin says, I am already in Scotland. Should Sweden or Switzerland be on my list? You tell me, Martin, if that's something that you have always dreamed of doing, or it might be a new thing. Since, getting to know me, you might want to meet me in person. That could be a new thing that you want to have on your list. So definitely, whatever you feel like, put it on your list of experiences. So the flash mob. So whatever you write down on your list, be careful what you write down, because it will come true. So last summer, we were in an amusement park in Sweden with the kids and my husband and my nieces. And then all of a sudden, I heard that they were starting a line dancing thingy that everyone could join up on the stage and do line dancing with them. And I was like, oh my God, this is almost like a flash mob. It's not quite a flash mob, but it's almost like a flash mob. So I told my husband and my 2 sons and my nieces that I am going to be up there on the stage. I'm going to do my version of the flash mob. And I did. I danced with everyone. I did the same movements. My husband and my 2 sons and my 2 nieces, they thought it was so embarrassing. But I was really proud because I had done it. And I was thinking, it's not really a flash mob, but let me take out my list. Let me take out my fantastic list and kind of put a cross next to the flash mob thing and read what I had written. And nowhere on my list did it say flash mob. It actually said, I want to be in a group of people where everyone dances in the same way. So whatever you put down on your list, make sure, if you really want to be in a flash mob or whatever it might be, make sure it is specific. Make sure it's specific. So what this list does, it opens your senses. It takes away the overwhelm and it makes you take smaller steps, because I'm certain it's not only about kind of like ordering this or affirming this or manifesting these things. It's actually also to open up to see the opportunities that you might have to get closer to your achievements and your goals and your dreams and experiences. And I just said the word specific. Nossa says, I bet you were amazing. Well, I can tell you that my sons wouldn't say the same. They thought it was so embarrassing. But doing some mom dancing there. So when I talk about specific, you have all heard about the SMART methodology, the specific, measurable, attainable or achievable, the relatedness, and the time bound. I got the question. So how do I know whether the thought is actually worth pursuing? How do I know whether the thought is actually worth pursuing? And this is where if you have these experiences, you need to think of them in like 2 different ways. Are they connected to your vision in one way? Was my flash mob connected to my vision? In a sense, it was, because that makes me more confident when I do these things. When I don't have that voice on my shoulder whispering, hey, Josefine, you don't even dare to sing in a choir, so why would you do anything else? Or you don't even dare to dance when people say that you could dance together with 50 other people. So is it connected to your vision? If it is, start pursuing it. If it's not connected to your vision, if it's not the R in the SMART goals, if it's not related to your vision, then you might want to park it. You might not want to do it, actually. The session, so I have a comment here from Inger, the session with outstanding topic to converse. I don't really understand what you mean, Inger, but maybe you can clarify it a little bit for me so that I can respond to that one. When it comes to the A in SMART, which is usually used as achievable or attainable, I want to challenge you on that one, and I want you to use it more in terms of aspirational. Because a vision in that sense should almost feel like it's unachievable, because it feels so far off. So you will take these smaller steps, and all of your experiences will bring you closer to your vision. So I have a comment here from Tanya. Hello, I want to do so many things. Sometimes it feels like I'm trying to run in several different directions. Yes, I totally get that, Tanya. And that is where we need to kind of like all of those many things that you want to do, all of those things that you want to achieve, your book and your challenges and your courses, etc., but also the experiences that you want to do, more travel probably, put them on that list and make them as specific as possible. Time bound is another thing. I never put any deadlines on my fantastic list. It wasn't as if I said, by the end of 2020, I want to have a house in Sweden, or by the end of 2022, I want to have been in my flash mob. That's not part of the fantastic list. That is part more of a project program management perspective. I just want you to actually put down all of the thoughts and the experiences that you want to have on your fantastic list, and keep that as open as I wouldn't say as open as possible, because I really want you to take action and start pursuing it. But even when you have it on your list, you will see that things start to change, things start to move in that direction. So these are I said in the beginning, I said we have two different types of goals and things, or to-dos, and we have the experiences. When it comes to the daily to-dos or the daily tasks, I would use the same technique, because sometimes by just writing it down, just sorting your thoughts and putting them down on a piece of paper makes it feel more achievable, makes it more, you kind of take all of these big thoughts that you have in your head and put them down somewhere so that you can see them. You don't have to carry them around all the time in your head, but you can actually put them down on a piece of paper and do something about them. So just to summarize, so what I covered today into making your thoughts into real actions is to actually note down these thoughts. Maybe sort them into achievements and experiences and to-dos. Make your fantastic list. It's a list of 10 things. If you only come up with 5 things, or if you come up with 12 things, there is no right or wrong here. But I would actually want you to put down some real experiences that you want to do. Review the list. Review your fantastic list and decide on one thing. One thing. We're not going to do all of them, because that is when the overwhelm comes in again. We focus on one thing and you start taking action on that thing. After a while, I want you to go back to that list. So I have it on a piece of paper, a little bit nicer piece of paper, but you can have it in a notebook, or you can have it on a different piece of paper. You can have it in your laptop or computer or whatever. But I want you to have it somewhere, so you don't just put it on a Post-it and then it disappears within the next 3 weeks, but to actually have it on a piece of paper. And then you will go back to that list every 3 months, every 6 months, and you will see that things have changed. Some of the things have actually become true without you even really noticing it. Like me, for example, running in the forest. I think it said running in the forest. It's not as if I run in the forest every day, but that was something that I hadn't done for many, many years. It wasn't the first thing that I did, though, because the first thing that I did was the choir thing. But put down everything, even though it might seem totally insignificant. All of these things that sit on your shoulder and whisper in your ear that you want to experience. So that was actually it. Do I have any questions so far? So it was 20 minutes today. I think that is actually quite good. But do I have any questions? If I do get questions after this, please connect with me, send me a DM, or if you're not already in my Facebook group, the Online Entrepreneurs Community, feel free to join there too. I will add the link underneath this video afterwards. And also subscribe to my YouTube channel. That's Josefine Wanner. I think I have 38 or 39 followers so far, and it's growing And I'm chasing Åsa, who has 100, who just passed 100 followers on her YouTube channel. So thank you all so much for being here with me today. Next week, we have a guest again. It's Benita Königsbauer, and we are going to talk about the profit first methodology. So thank you all for showing up and for seeing you soon again. Bye.